reasons for my lack and delay of success. Hanging out with failures, listening to failures, and living with failures. Just a thought that I pondered as I walked my dog. Thinking as I'm walking the dog, thinking of remembering the poor dogs that I've seen at animal shelters. And I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. But seeing dogs there in the cold, on cement, in the heat, just caged up, and just thinking, man, if I could afford to have a huge property with these dogs and become the bootleg dog whisperer, I think that'd be awesome. That would be a lot of shit to clean up, but it's possible. And I realize that it takes capital to make that happen. And I know that I've said something like in the past that failure is not a person, failure is an incident. So how can I be calling people failures? Like, what are they, toilet scrubbers, dishwashers, the taco man? I have seen people that, they're living fat. They're pretty much retired. And I would consider them more of a failure than the taco man that I know of, who just runs a successful business his way, his hours, to just an effective level. But failure is different to each one of us. So I'm just sharing my story, my perspective. But a failure is someone who quits on themselves. Says, this is the best I could be. This is the best that I could get. This is the most I can do. Why should I continue reading? Why should I continue studying? Why should I try to grow? Try to make something happen. Why should I travel? When they have questions like that, or doubt like that, and to me, growing up with people like that, listening to people like that, living with people like that, thinking too how past decisions that I've made was because I listened to people like that. People who never even dared to, on their own will, push themselves, learn, grow, learn to do something different. Learn to fucking do something that they're ignorant of. Something new to learn. And how can I reveal my insight without being dramatic? To apply other people's situations easier. I remember once seeing two dumb bitches talk about, yeah, you know what, I don't want my son in the army because he could die, and you know, Trump may go to war and this and that. And I'm thinking, man, that son is probably it's possible that it's an effective soldier. All the training put in there, the things he's learning, the places he will travel to. It's better than just being in the fucking hood and ending up at your local Pep Boys, banging your high school sweetheart, impregnating her, cheating on her 5 years later with anything younger, tighter, and less fucking fat. I'm thinking of the dude, the army, military will provide shelter, training, travel. Will you be providing that for your son, those opportunities for your son? Will you make that 1,000% your liability or your responsibility? And the answer is no. Because if that were the case, you would be so busy making shit happen for yourself that you'd be like, I don't have time to fuck up other people's lives, manipulate other people's lives, because I'm here making this or that happen. And I remember the times that I've been scared to jump, scared to try something new, because of the fucking losers and failures in my life. And they're hard to identify because they come in identities such as friends and family. Someone who's a teacher. And I know it sounds like, I'm playing the blame game, It's, what do you mean? I thought you would say take accountability. Oh, I am, definitely. But I'm just tracing back, man, where did I fuck up? Where was it that I stepped on dog shit? Why did I step on dog shit? What distracted me that I stepped on dog shit? Have I stepped on dog shit lately? Why? What happened? And being sabotaged, being betrayed. Instead of learning earlier on, a friend will not lie to you. A friend will not betray you. Someone who loves you will not do that to you. Someone who loves you will be honest, will build your relationship on honesty, on truth. If you build a relationship based on bullshit, it will become superb, magnificent bullshit. You think I'm wrong, you think I'm being paranoid. Go ahead. Let toxic people, small thinking people in your life, let them live in your head, in your emotions, in your business decisions, in your personal decisions. Let them. I have seen the older versions of those sorts of people. People that are much older than me, attempting to start in the fields that I've already been in. People that have been older than me, that have only had jobs, and never a career. I've had three careers. 3. careers where I'm like, fuck, man, I can't believe. Well, I sort of can't believe that I'm doing this, but highly unlikely that I should be in this position, but I am, and it almost makes you want to break down with tears of joy because I made that happen. But also, I think, how much more would I have done had I had people who fucking believe in themselves, who believe in optimism with respect to pessimism. And I remember seeing a comment just a minute ago reading that you don't even make any sense. And I say, well, you know what, maybe you heard me, but you weren't listening. And if you think I'm an idiot, well, go ahead. You'll see what the well, you want some Casey Neistat sort of approach. Hillary supporter who basically, you vote for Hillary, basically voting for globalization, denying the Muslim scum threat, people who hate you for your liberties, people who a death culture, which is Islam, that a death cult, which is Islam, that shit limits, beheads, and executes. Well, the infidel. And again, I love capitalism. Love it more than socialism. Love it more than communism. Yeah, but I think of fucking dogs, and I think, man, I need to grab them and give them a home, man. Neuter them and give them a home. I don't want to fucking breed them. Poor puppies. And it's gonna take a lot of bucks to do that. A lot. And no, I just gotta sit down and draw. That's it, period. Life is simple. I didn't say easy. I said simple.